After 26 days away from home, the Columbus State University Lady Cougar soccer team hits the pitch of the Walden Soccer Complex for the first time here on day number 1 of the month of October. Hello, everyone. Welcome inside the Walden Soccer Complex on the campus of Columbus State University. Stephen Williams here with you on Cougar Sports TV alongside my partner, Tony Frankovich. And Tony, 26 days away. I'm sure they're itching to get back here at home.
Oh yeah. I mean, talking to everybody, especially this opponent, Georgia State and College, they lost to him in conference final. I guess CSU girls are ready to get out of the gate, just like Bulls in Pamplona.
We've had the chance to see them, I guess, 1.5 times with the opening game they had against Mount Olive and then the half they played against West Florida. It's a team, though, when they left, as you mentioned, they were receiving votes.
Yeah.
Now they're the number 5 team in the country. It's been a good stretch for them to start the year.
It's unbelievable stretch. I mean, it needless to say, you know, that this team, it's growing. You know, it's scary that how good they could be.
CSU will work out in their home white uniforms, all white head to toe, navy blue numerals and lettering. Malin Parsons, the sophomore, will start in the goal. Casey Davis along the back line, finally cleared after an injury had kept her out of a couple of games. Back there with her partner in the center back, Shelby Rowling. Andy Larice and Becca Calder in the back line alongside that pair. Kelsey Pelletier, Taylor Marks, and Steph Kolwitz will start in the midfield. It'll be Nicole Corsione, Chelsea Pearson, and Tori Hood, who's played good soccer so far to start the year, starting up top for the Lady Cougars in white. Working left to right as you're looking at it as we're officially underway here from Columbus, Georgia.
Coach Hope Clark says that they came here just to play soccer. They're not gonna. I asked her whether you're gonna defend or anything. They said we're just gonna play carefree. We're gonna go for it.
It's a Georgia College team that comes into this one 2-5-1 on the season, 0-3-1 in conference play, coming off of 3 consecutive losses, but they've run into some of the better teams inside the conference to start off their conference season. Their last 2 at home against Lander, who just snuck into the top 25, and against North Georgia on the road, who is now the number 15 team in the country, and now they get number 5. So 3 ranked Peach Belt teams, and that's their 3 most recent matches here, so a tough stretch for them.
North Georgia is a very dangerous team. You know, it's going to be a big-time game between Columbus State and North Georgia when it comes.
Georgia College in the navy uniforms with the white stripes and white numerals. On the defense here early, Annie Stevens, the senior out of Fayetteville, Georgia, getting the start in the net. Maddie Stephen along with Elise Schwartz, Nicole Moore, Allie Berry, Sol Baldacini, Casey Hamilton, Liz Franco, Raleigh, Anna Machon, Emily Wilhelm, and Rebecca Autry filling out the Georgia College 11 as Casey Davis stings one off the free kick, deflected back there in the back line by Schwartz, and it'll be a corner kick for Columbus State 90 seconds in.
So far, immediate pressure from Columbus State. I think they were really itching to come into this game and take to Georgia State.
This is Mark swinging around towards the outside corner. Had it deflected away, and CSU will reset. But again, you see the numbers early. Well in the forward side, the attacking third for Columbus State. It's a bunch that's been a prolific scoring team here over the last few matches. They put up 6 in a victory over Tusculum last week and a dominant 6-1 victory against a team that was ranked 4th in the Southeast region. And then put up 3 more against USC Aiken on Saturday, had 3 in a victory in overtime at Armstrong. So it's a group with 12 goals in 3 matches, and they aren't giving up very many.
That's the most important thing. They don't giving up many. Georgia College is going to put 10 people behind what I saw it right now. So it's going to be very hard for CSU to break it.
This one headed away over the sideline into the Georgia College bench by Baldacini. CSU on the offensive attack throughout the first 2+ minutes of this one, nearly 3 minutes gone by here in this first half. It took them a while to get on the scoreboard against USC Aiken on Saturday, but they finally were able to break through, tacked on a couple more, and took a 3-1 victory home after giving up a late goal in the final 10 minutes.
Georgia College had 8 goals. It's 7 goals in 8 games, so they don't scoring many. So I can imagine they're probably going to try to protect their net today.
Yeah, all of the numbers to this point favor CSU. They average nearly 3 goals a game. With the 7 goals in 8 games, Georgia College averaging less than 1 per game coming into this one as well. They haven't scored in the last 3 matches they've played. All 3 of those losses, as we told you, coming 1-0, 2-0, and 4-0. So it's been a long time since this Bobcat team has put goals on the board. Porcione can't keep it in right at midfield on the near sideline, giving it back into the hands of the Bobcats. This is, as you mentioned, though, a Georgia College team that had never beat Columbus State in women's soccer in program history until last November in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament semifinals. The Bobcats, this number 6 seed in the tournament, got hot, took down Armstrong in the opener, then took out Columbus State before falling to Clayton State in the final. But as they proved back then, it doesn't matter the records. It doesn't matter what it is. You get on the field, you play soccer, weird things can happen.
Good tactics, good defensive tactics can go a long ways for this team.
Chelsea Pearson to trigger this inbound for the Lady Cougars. Back flipped by Corsione, put it into the box. It's still loose in there. Kolwitz has her foot near it, but instead it'll be Stevens that comes out to take it away. A defender laying on the ground was able to keep that one out of the net from Kolwitz.
That was glorious opportunity there. Broken play. Stephanie almost put that in, and it would be great for CSU. Great start if they scored early. Then Georgia College has to open up.
CSU scoring a lot of goals, but they're coming from a lot of different places. CSU doesn't have 1 or 2 dominant scorers right now like they have had in years past. Chelsea Pearson on a hot streak at the moment has 4 goals in her last 3 matches, including 2 and the game winner against Armstrong in that overtime victory a couple of weeks ago. Earned Peach Belt Conference Player of the Week for that performance, but 4 goals for her leads this team. And then they're scattered throughout, 19 goals scattered across a number of players on this CSU roster, and we've noticed that in the few times we've gotten to see them. There's plenty of choices on the attacking end.
That's good. Spread the wealth. That's the best formula for successful teams. They don't highly depend on 1 or 2 players. It seems to me Georgia College depends on 2 players that score 4 out of those 7 goals. That is Baldazzini and Ashley Vulu.
Corsione again. The flick with the head. Nobody home to receive it, though. Cleared away by the Bobcats. We've watched, especially when we were here for the CSU Collegiate Invitational, when you have one great scorer, a team can take her away. They man mark, as CSU did against West Florida. You can't do that, though, against CSU.
No, because everybody can score in this team. You know, I'm just waiting for Stephanie Kolwitz to take one of them 35, 40-yard bombs. He promised me she's going to score one of these days.
10 different players have scored the 19 goals as they try to sneak one through to Corsione, deflected away and pushed aside by Entree in the back line. 7 minutes gone by here on Cougar Sports TV. The Lady Cougars, the 5th-ranked team in the country. When the poll came out yesterday, they were number 5 a couple of weeks ago. Dropped a spot down to 6 after they had a draw against Lee and a win over Armstrong. But 2 more wins last week in convincing fashion bumped them back up to number 5, and they lead the way in the Southeast region as well, sitting atop that poll, and that's the one that actually matters because that one will determine your postseason seeding. Long way to go before you get to that point, though. And the Peach Belt Conference, tough as always in the Southeast region right now, 1 through 5, all Peach Belt schools.
Ranking don't matter anything in rivalry games, and especially in this one. One counterattack, good defensive play can change all that.
This is the 15th overall meeting between these two. Columbus State has won 9 of those. They've lost just the 1. That was the tournament semifinal game last year, and they had 4 draws along the way during that time as well. So this has been a matchup that's been generally one-sided as far as the results go, but they've played several that have been very, very, very tightly contested.
Georgia College came here to play. Definitely, they're battling for every ball. This is going to be a pretty tight game. CSU needs to do a little bit more passing, a little bit more put the ball on the ground and play more intricate passing through the midfield. I don't think it's that straightforward direct play is going to work against this team. They have just too many people behind the ball.
Tough time of day, as you can tell. The sun's setting over behind the trees across the way. So the vantage point from this side, where the benches are, where we are in the press box. Tough for about another 10 minutes or so while that sun sneaks behind the tip tops of the trees as the shadows start to play a role out there in the center of the field.
It still is better than last game you and I did. It was like 140 degrees here.
And then lightning.
And lightning.
The cross that time from Hood wound up outside of the goal line, so it'll be a goal kick coming up here for Annie Stevens. Stevens in net has started 7 of their 8 games. She's played all but 61 minutes back there, giving up a little less than 2 goals per game. She's 2-4-1 on the year and does have a shutout to her total so far this season. Tori Hood again working forward towards that one, and that one banged off of her side and out of bounds over the side and turns into a throw here for Georgia College. CSU, we mentioned the fact that they had, as we get a foul coming up against Becca Calder of CSU, we mentioned the offensive outburst they had against Tusculum last week, and it was an impressive one, more impressive when you find out some of the things that happened that day. Tusculum had gone 535 minutes without giving up a goal prior to CSU, and then they got 6 of them in one game. Tusculum hadn't given up 6 goals in a game since 1996 either, so the Lady Cougars doing something that hadn't been done in nearly 20 years. A week ago today.
They were worried about that coaching staff at CSU. Were worried about that game a little bit, but 6-1, that was some serious licking.
Yeah, they responded just fine.
They did.
CSU controlled the play of that day, most of the day at least. It was 3-0 for a long time. They gave up a goal to make it 3-1, and then just for good measure, they tacked on 3 more in the final 10-minute stretch. This is Pelletier, who had a good game last week. In that Tusculum game, she scored 2 goals and also assisted on 2 of them. A big 6-point afternoon for her up in Tennessee.
They have 7 players in the box. So
Pearson tried to get it in there, had it cleared away. Anna Machon that time.
It's handball there. This might be a good opportunity for CSU to on set plays.
About 30 to 35 yards out, it'll be Casey Davis that will come up.
This is a sweet spot. If she can bend it toward the goal, at the goal, behind defense, could be dangerous.
6 of them going toward the net. 2 of the Lady Cougars, though, hit the turf. Shelby Rowling and Steph Kolwitz both laying on the ground as everybody took off for the net there. Calder able to take it away and keep it on the CSU attacking third.
CSU didn't attack that ball strongly that they could have. That was pretty good ball on 6-yard line. They should have attacked more aggressively.
Good job defensively that time by Schwartz, shielding off Calder, who was making a run at it. The Lady Cougars will make a sub now. Tori Hood, who got the start, will come out. Cassandra Wade, who started early on in the year in the midfield, will slot in there, and Kelsey Pelletier will move forward in that 4-3-3 rather, and play in the forward spot. This is Berries with it, playing it forward, trying to get to Anna Machon. She'll get it down the left sideline. Calder the one standing in between her and the net. Anna Machon sends it towards the net, trying to connect that time with Nicole Moore, but Malin Parsons able to snatch it up.
That was pretty good play.
Malin started all 7 games in goal so far. They came out of preseason camp, and it was kind of a goalkeeper battle of sorts going into that opening weekend. Parsons and Miosha Hatcher split the opening game. But Malin Parsons, the one that has clearly won the job away now, as she started all 7 of them. and has only come out for 2 second halves so far this season. She's giving up just over a half a goal a game, so she's been very, very good and already turned in 3 shutouts by herself. Pearson going after that one, kept it alive. Goalie off her mark, but headed away. Stevens got out of position for a moment, but not long enough for CSU to capitalize off of it. Nice job by Davis there to fight that and win that 50-50 ball.
CSU will try to build now pass from foot to foot, nearest man. That's the way actually to break this team. Just wear him out a little bit with the passing. It doesn't have to be forward every time. I believe if they go straight forward, they're actually playing in the hand of Georgia College.
Now you look at the formation right now, a 4-5-1 for Georgia College, sometimes dropping back to a 5-4-1.
That's almost mandatory for them. When CSU penetrate down deep, there's about 7 players in the box every time.
Lady Cougars called for the foul there in the midfield. Set it up an opportunity here for Baldacini to take the free kick. Again, the shadows continue to creep further and further on as the sun drifts off.
As usual, we will be late to get that.
Moore had it deflected away, and CSU again another easy takeaway in the defensive end. Too far forward. Corsione can't go track it down. 15 minutes gone by. Stephen Williams, Tony Frankovich here with you from Columbus. Still looking for goal number 1, the 5th-ranked Lady Cougars in Georgia College in Peach Belt Conference action.
I think this will be really a game of patience for CSU. The Cougars need to really take their time, not to rush, not to leave themselves open. Eventually they will score that breakthrough goal.
CSU 6-0-1 on the season. 7 matches without taking a loss. That's the farthest they've gone into a year like that since 2010. That year they started 9-0-1 before taking their first loss. And you look at the way the schedule sets up for the Lady Cougars, and it's not exactly Murderer's Row that they're running in here to start off October. Georgia College tonight at Young Harris this weekend, and then Georgia Southwestern comes in here next Wednesday. Well, you know, you have to get out and play the games, but it's not exactly the upper half of the conference that's on the schedule the next couple of nights.
Yeah, definitely Clayton State and North Georgia on 18th and 22nd.
And then Lander on the 25th.
Lander on 25th, so that's going to be a really important stretch for this young Cougar team.
The conference right now inside the Peach Belt is top-heavy in the top 5. Armstrong, North Georgia, Lander, Clayton State, and Columbus State. UNC Pembroke off to a good start as well, but it's really those other 5 that look to be the cream of the crop inside the Peach Belt Conference this season, and CSU gets most of those in a single stretch right there at the back end of this month.
There's no time to prepare for tough opponents, not enough time as you would have if they spread out a little bit. But you got to beat them all.
You got to play them at some point, right? Doesn't matter when.
Might as well you can play them all in one.
That's always been Jay Entlich's answer. You talk to him the last couple of years, they've opened conference play with Armstrong, who has always been 1-2 with CSU inside conference play until last year. And you ask him about it, do you like to start conference play with the other team you're competing against for the top spot? And his answer is always, got to play them sometime, might as well just get it over with now.
Coach Entlich is not shy to play anybody at any time. If somebody wake him up in the morning, in the middle of the night, hey, you want to play this thing? You're going to say, yeah, sure.
Not too many teams right now in the polls ahead of Columbus State, though, as they climb further and further up in the rankings. They own a victory over Rollins. They picked up a victory in the West Florida Invitational the week after they had the Invitational here in town, as CSU has that one alive and hit towards the net. Stevens able to pick it up, but CSU getting a win over Rollins, who was number 9 at the time. They've moved up to number 7 now in the polls, and they're the only loss the Lady Cougars are that Rollins has taken this season. So that's one that CSU can put on the resume for later on.
Considering the fact that Rollins did beat West Georgia, which were number 2 in the country
West
at that
Florida.
time. West Florida, my bad.
And West Florida had a tough time in their own invitational down there. A good Texas A&M Commerce team also defeated the Argonauts.
But they are a tremendous team. We will hear a little more about West Florida. That's a very good team.
This is Corsione in the middle, trying to use her speed as she gets one on toward the net. It snuck through everybody, even Stevens, the goalkeeper, but fortunately for her, it was a little wide of the mark. Some weird spin on an odd bounce, and on the dive, she couldn't get it.
Keeper was a little bit slow on that diving. On that, she's very fortunate that it wasn't on the goal. That was a really super slow motion dive.
You want to know how this one's going? Just look at the scoreboard in the shot column. It was just CSU's second shot of the match so far, despite the fact that they've had possession for nearly the entire time.
It must be 80% at minimum.
It shows you how Georgia College is defending right now. Everyone's dropping back, and anything towards the net, they're swallowing up.
This is a rivalry game. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, and as I said, rankings mean nothing in this kind of game. Peach Belt Conference is a very, very strong conference, this year especially.
Georgia College, Hope Clark, as you mentioned, the head coach. You spoke to her earlier. Interestingly enough, she is a Virginia Tech grad, just
She's
like
hockey,
Jay Itlick
yes.
is.
She was a really great goalkeeper for Hokies in her day. She'd been coaching in youth soccer and college down in Tampa as well. So she's been around. She's married to Washawn Clark, whose brother, who's also a college player, and he's brother of a U.S. World Cup player, Ricardo Clark, who's a really standout Georgia player.
So Jay Itlick and Hope Clark, both alum from Blacksburg, Virginia.
Hokies.
Hope was in the inaugural group that rolled through Virginia Tech. I believe back in '94 was when she started there. As you mentioned, all conference as a goalkeeper. This is Pelletier working on the right, working against Schwartz. Doing a lot of dribbling through the middle. Good cross, but no one there to tank it.
Nobody attacked that ball. That was phenomenal ball. What they call it's not friend to foe or to you. You gotta between keeper and defender. If you attack it, you're gonna get to it. Because defenders don't dare to touch that ball because own goal. So far forward at CSU step late getting there.
This is Pearson with it, looking to cross, trying to find Pelletier on the receiving end. Hit off of the defender that time. Getting in the way was Emily Wilhelm, and it'll set up another corner opportunity.
Chelsea Pearson is a tremendous player. She's really in good form right now, expecting her to score the goal in this game.
She seems like she keeps getting better every year that she's been here, and this is year number 4 for her, despite being a junior. Redshirted her first year. This one touched by Corsione, and then fired on towards the net by Cassandra Wade, but wide of the mark to the left. So the chances getting a little more frequent here for CSU as they try to maneuver their way and plug their way through this Georgia College defense.
All stats and everything you're looking at this point of the season, you would think that should be 3-4 goals in CSU favor. Number 5 in the country, playing a team with losing record, but once you step on that green pitch, that means nothing. Precisely 0.
CSU with a throw coming up, but they'll get a pair of subs on prior to that happening. Kolwitz and Pelletier will come off. Jackie Hellett in for the first time, the senior from Florida, and Kiana Nicholson, who has 3 goals already this season. The junior, after sitting a couple of years out from this team, after being the freshman of the year in the Peach Belt Conference, in there now for the first time this evening.
This might be kind of game for Kiana. She's really good in the box, skillful, very quick release on a shot. So she may also be decisive in this game.
She's very good one-on-one too. Doesn't need the pass to set her up. Sometimes you got to plug away by yourself in a scenario like this because they're in every passing lane at the moment.
Very quick, lower center of gravity, and she can turn on a dime.
This is Nicholson there keeping it alive for a second time and a third. And finally, they try to get it out of the box, unable to, and all Schwartz can do is just hit it over the sideline and set up another deep Lady Cougar throw.
A little helter-skelter there. I wish they step on the ball and settle it.
Orsioni into the center. Taylor Marks with the left foot, the one-timer. Touched it a little too high. Didn't have great pace on it. Hit it just a little bit, and another miss for the Lady Cougars as we work here in minute number 24.
This was good opportunities. You know, sometimes players do not believe they can score. You got to have that belief that you're going to score, and you're going for a goal. You know that's going to be on a target.
It was September 5th, the last time that the Lady Cougars played an official match on this field. They played on the 7th, a game that we were there for, but the West Florida game canceled due to lightning in the area. We're at 1-1 early in the second half. So it has been 26 days since the Lady Cougars played an official match on their home field. That's the longest stretch they've gone in program history during a season, as Jackie Hillett tried to play one to the center that's cleared away. And this will be a Lady Cougar throw coming up from the Georgia College bench.
CSU need a little bit more cutting edge around the box and in the box, more composure, look for a pass. Here we go.
Nicholson got behind the defense for a second, didn't have a great angle at it though, and took the shot anyway, and it missed wide right.
Chelsea Pearson was wide open in the middle of the goal on 6-yard line. If she was able to play that ball in, that would be goal for sure.
Georgia College making its first sub. Allie Berries will come out, and then in her place they will send Abby Dalton, senior out of Macon, Georgia. This Georgia College roster, much like the CSU one, made up mostly of Georgia kids.
You know, when it comes to that's just amazing from both schools that they are good with basically local kids. Two schools have Georgia College have 3 scholarships available, CSU about 4. It's absolutely amazing that CSU is top 5.
On the move, this is Franco with it.
Ooh.
Trying to get by Casey Davis. Davis able to take her down. The referee in the center lets them play on. It looked like she stuck that foot out and nearly was called for the foul in the box.
Mamma mia. Reminded me on that PK CSU gave against West Florida, isn't it?
Stuck the foot out and was able to get away with no foul call happening there.
In my book, that was penalty kick. We dodged the bullet there because our defender wasn't even near to ball. You know, that ball was past her.
Calder called for another foul. That's her second of the night. 3 against the Lady Cougars, 3 on the opposite side as well. Still nothing in the scoring column. Georgia College yet to get a shot off to this point. CSU's been able to get off 5 as we roll under 19 minutes to go in this first half. Sometimes this is the process that happens for CSU when you have a team that comes out as defensive-minded as Georgia College does. It takes you a while to break through, but oftentimes when you finally do break through, it seems like the gates open up.
Well, they open up for you easier. CSU is a very dynamic team going forward with a little bit of space behind. Right now, CSU don't have a space behind that they can play ball to. Basically, Georgia College, everybody is outside of the box. There's not much room behind there.
Hellett with it in the midfield, playing it across. Cassandra Wade will take a shot, and on one hop, Stevens will make the save, falling to her right.
You know, this is kind of situation that you can see when shot was taken, it's not with a conviction, I will score the goal. You know, it's kind of, I will take a shot. You know, it's not going with full conviction that you're going to score a goal.
The shots right now for CSU having to come from 20, 25, 30 yards out because they're not getting the opportunities from 7, 8, 9 yards.
That position right there was perfect. That's a dream position for you to shoot.
Another sub for CSU. Nicole Corsione will come off. Her first half coming to a close. Ashley Miller, the senior, in there. Nicholson taken down and no foul called there. So I guess the referee setting the precedent that, hey, we're going to play a little bit.
It's a fair game, you know. Both teams playing fair. Although it's rivalry, but there was no dirty stuff. Everything is fair on the ball.
Dalton able to get past Calder, trying to cross. Shelby Rolling getting in the way of that one. And Rolling able to win possession back, but she'll play it out over the side. And a Georgia College throw coming up from deep in their end as they continue to look for their first shot of the night.
That was a very nice move by Dalton. Nice cut. Wasn't able to cross that ball right away.
So they'll get a throw from deep in their end for the first time here. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Moore tossing it in. Got it to Anna Mashan. There's problem is there's no one behind her to connect with. Ball has not spent much time in this end of the field to this point. CSU has controlled possession, but the Bobcats have kept the Lady Cougars off the scoreboard.
You know, sometimes there's tactical move and dominant team that you let the other team come at you to open up in the back. You know, so far, you know, CSU just going straight forward and Georgia College just absorbing that. I wish CSU just drop forward to the middle third of the field and let him come to that space opens up a little bit for him.
CSU, not unusual for them to see a defense like this. There's a handful of matches that they play throughout the year where this is the style they see. The opponent looks at it and says, we can't match goal for goal, so we need to keep this as low scoring as possible. And therefore, they're going to play more defense-oriented than offense. And so CSU has to continue to probe and go after it and continue to try to put things together.
You know, this is the most frustrating kind of games for coaches. You know, me as a coach, I'm sure Jay as well. You know, he would rather play West Florida and also Armstrong because that's open game. You can do stuff in that game. In this game, you know, that can frustrate you all the way to the end.
Andy Larice working from her outside back spot. This is Wade. Dribbles in toward the box, leaves it off for Nicholson. Nicholson with a left foot over the crossbar, but set up well that time. Just a little bit high on the shot.
Good try. That's what I'm talking about. A little bit combination. Not to force your thing through the box. This was perfect outside of box pass. Actually, the CSU getting good looks outside of the box. That's like third or fourth shot that you know, with a little bit, they need a little bit more quality on that and confidence.
Courtney Jackway in on the substitution there for CSU. Chelsea Pearson, the one that came off. So Hellett, Miller, and Nicholson working in the front line for CSU. Wade, Marks, and Jackway in the middle, and the back line unchanged. Andy Larice, Casey Davis, Shelby Rolling, and Becca Calder across that back four.
I'm really glad that Courtney is in a game and that she's back to play.
Calder sends one a long way, and that's where Jackie Hellett can excel. She's one of the few Lady Cougar players with any kind of height to her. So you'll often find them trying to play her the ball through the air. Franco leaves it off. Dalton trying to get a shot off. Blocked that time by Rolling, and CSU will try to counter now. Ooh. Without numbers for Georgia College, but a miscommunication there and a giveaway.
Center forward ran away. Dalton has some crafty moves there. You know, she could be a dangerous player.
Down under 13 minutes to go here in this first half. Still scoreless here at the Walden Soccer Complex. Columbus State and Georgia College, the battle for the pickle barrel. This is matchup number 2 between these two programs. This is Hellett driving down the right side, looking for a spot to cross. Deflected off of Schwartz in a corner coming up.
Finally a little bit of space to open up. Stephen Beck behind defense, and CSU was finally able to put that ball that they like to play.
The attempt to get into the center cleared away. Taylor Marks will help touch it to keep it alive.
it's got to be a little more patience here for CSU. That's not what I was looking for. It's okay to have 20, 25 passes. You don't need to go forward. You know, at least make them chase. You know, they. That's how you can tire him up, and wait for perfect opportunities to space to open up for CSU. Right now, CSU is very is not patient enough for.
Closing in on 10 minutes to go in this first half. CSU has been dominant possession-wise, but nothing to show for it in the scoring column. This is Larice playing it forward for Miller. Got a head on it, but wide to the right. Again, though, they connected with another pass. The shot just a little wide of the mark. Another sub coming in. Jackie Hellett will come off, so some good minutes for her. She'll check out. Mandy Janowitz will come in. What you would imagine would be the final 11 minutes of this half.
Ashley Miller was in perfect position that time. Chances and half a chances, actually mostly half chances coming for CSU. Unfortunately, they wasn't able to capitalize on any of them. Ball has to be moving a little bit faster. CSU in the midfield moves that ball too slow because Georgia College giving him time on the ball there. Ball has to move faster, and our midfielder needs to be more aggressive running in toward the goal.
They play it back on the throw to Shelby Rolling, who's up from her center back spot. The foot comes out, the flag comes up, and a foul call, and CSU will get an opportunity here on a free kick. They're going to send Ashley Miller over, it looks like, to take it. Mention these two play for the Battle of the Pickle Barrel. It's not a one-night ordeal. It's an entire year-long thing. This is the third year of it. Every athletic competition between the two counts for a point. GPAs of every team count for a point. And Make-A-Wish donations for the program count. As
That's
Miller hits this
ball.
one high and up over the crossbar, just a little too much on it.
That was a good try. I like that kind of pass. In swinger going at the goal just was a little bit too high.
Anna Mashan comes off, and in for the first time comes Ashley Valou, the senior from Monroe, Georgia, an all-region performer, getting her first look at things here. CSU, though, in the battle with Georgia College, has won each of the first 2 years of the competition. CSU has dominated the on-the-field competition between the two schools. They will be celebrating that coming up on Tuesday, October 28th, when the Lady Cougar volleyball team hosts Georgia College inside the Lumpkin Center. That will be when the trophy is presented, and they will celebrate a second straight victory over Georgia College. Schwartz had it taken away by Jackway. Jackway gave it right back, though. The clearance finds Calder trying to set things up. She'll cross across the 18, slid away for a moment. Marks plays it to the right. Miller stings it into the center. Cleared for a moment. Now back to Miller. CSU trying to get on the board here early. Stepped away. Bouncing around right outside the 18 multiple times, but CSU gets nothing out of it with 8 minutes to go in the first half.
There you go.
This is Marks. She'll hit one. It's deflected down by Autry. Calder keeps it alive. Trying to play Marks now out to the right side. Surveying it. Had it knocked away. Another deep throw coming up with under 8 to go.
That was really good sequence of passes there. You know, that's what CSU need to do more of. Just make sure that they keep all ducks in the line on defense, not to give up cheap goal, because today it's very hard to buy goal against this very organized Georgia College team.
CSU to throw. Rolling, tosses it in. Headed straight up in the air. A second ball coming up. One away by Georgia College. So for Georgia College, though, this has been a picture-perfect half for them. They want this to stay scoreless as long as possible, and then they'll look for a late strike to win the game in the second half. So mission accomplished so far for Hope Clark's bunch.
I think they're going for that kind of 1-0 game one way or another.
Rolling looking at this one with 6.5 to go. Janowitz in the box, loose with it. Couldn't control it enough to get a shot off, but they'll get a corner out of it.
Stevens, she didn't need to control that. That's first time volley shot. She should attempt that, and whatever happens, happens. Because you don't have time to control that, really, or space against this defense.
CSU will sub on Shauna Griffin, the junior college transfer from Dublin, Ireland. She'll come in place of Ashley Miller, and she'll take this corner kick from the near side at the 6-minute mark.
We need more than 4 people in the box.
Griffin hits one right about the 12-yard mark, gets through everybody. Wade will play it back to Larice to keep the attack on in the closing minutes of this first half.
Took too long. She should have crossed it early, but let's see what happens.
Rolling, plays it back to Griffin, trying to play it right back. Ends up with it back on her foot. The shot deflected, and Stevens has no problem. An easy one for her to go over and scoop up.
Griffin attempted that shot. That could have been pass.
Valu, one of the 2 all-region players this Georgia College team has that came back, returned to this year's team. Limited playing time for her here in this first half so far, but had a chance for a moment there as we go under 5.
She scored 2 goals this year for them, so she must have something there that she didn't start, or maybe tactical decision.
This is Casey Davis as CSU has sent pretty much its entire field of 10 forward. Janowitz with that ball twisting around in the air, back to Nicholson. She'll hit one with the left foot, looking for Griffin in a good position. It just got through her, and a goal kick coming up.
That was a wonderful ball from Nicholson. CSU needs to be more aggressive on this kind of crosses. I don't see that aggressiveness, will to score the goal.
Hey, Mark, don't leave the halftime stuff until you can do the half.
It's going to be very interesting to see halftime what Coach Antlick will do in a halftime. Right now, Georgia State in college pretty happy.
This is Calder playing it into the center for
One more
Nicholson.
pass.
Trying to get that one more pass, but was off the mark. Going for Janowitz now.
It was an awkward pass with outside of the foot.
Dalton moving on forward, trying to connect with Valu, able to get it to her, the senior on the left side, working one-on-one against another senior in Casey Davis, and Davis able to shield her away, using her body to keep Valu off the ball. And Malin Parsons, for one of the rare times in this first half, will actually have a play to make.
Yeah, she's introducing herself to ball right now.
Although I don't think she'll mind that. She may be a little bored, but it keeps the work level down.
Maybe so, but a lot of keepers, they like to be busy a little bit. They don't like to be spectators.
You can fall asleep a little bit if you're not careful back there.
That's usually spells trouble when you're not busy.
Jackway plays it forward. Griffin in a foot race with the ball, and the ball's going to win it over the end line.
Well, Lou put some nice moves, but Casey was playing really good defense on him.
Lights on now here at the Walden Soccer Complex. The sun has set. Everyone on this side of the field thankful for that. Taking the temperature down a little bit and making the visuals a little bit calmer.
Speak for yourself. I was working on my tan, right?
I was not. Calder trying to direct traffic to Marks in the midfield.
There you go. That's it. They need to be moving.
Played to the corner. No one was making a run toward that spot, though. It wasn't a bad ball played by Janowitz, but no one was moving there, and a goal kick coming.
That's not bad ball. Nobody was made, but I wish they changed point of attack, switch the field, look the other way. They made really good one-touch, 3-4 passes here. She should look the other way because nobody was making run here.
Stevens, unlike Malin Parsons, has been busy in her net. Has not been forced, though, to take on a really tough shot yet. CSU hasn't gotten a great shot on net.
And one more pass. Perfect ball. Let's see what happens.
Griffin trying to fin that one towards the net. It's taken away for a moment by Schwartz, who's been good in that back line. Schwartz has done a nice job keeping CSU away from the net, and with 70 seconds to go in the half, the Lady Cougars will head to the corner for the 5th time in this first half, searching for goal number 1.
That was peach of a ball by Kiana Nicholson.
Griffin,
it's time to score.
near
a goal.
post,
Ooh.
off the bar from the head of Janowitz, and Georgia College will skate away again with this one still sitting at 0-0. Janowitz got the back of the head on it, and it hit off the crossbar on the right side. So they keep getting closer. Here's a good ball played in by Davis. Headed away, finds the foot of Nicholson. She'll cross one. It's loose for Rolling, who has her shot blocked. Still alive with under 30 seconds to go.
Put it in a mixer.
CSU searching for a dagger here late in the half. This one's loose, but Stevens on the ground, able to scoop it up.
Mamma mia, ball doesn't bounce our way in this half.
But over 45 minutes, they've gradually gotten closer and closer and closer to a goal as they start the 10-second countdown. We're going to take things to the halftime locker room. Tied at 0, a scoreless first 45 minutes here from the Walden Soccer Complex here in Columbus, Georgia. The 5th-ranked Lady Cougars and Georgia College playing to a scoreless 0 number through this first half.
That was good, tactically really good match for Georgia State. That last play that Kiana Nicholson made, that delightful pass behind defense, CSU need to more do of that. So that's what I was talking about. Be patient around the box and find that penetrating pass outside of the box, and almost happened for them. I think that's going to be adjustment that Coach Jay will do in a halftime. 45
minutes in the books. CSU and Georgia College scoreless here at the Walden Soccer Complex. We'll take the halftime break with them and come back with your second 45 minutes of action here on Cougar Sports TV. At the break, 0-0 Columbus State and Georgia College. Scoreless after 45 minutes, the way we stand here in Columbus, Georgia. Stephen Williams, Tony Frankovich back with you here on Cougar Sports TV. The 5th-ranked Lady Cougars of Columbus State, 0. Georgia College, the Bombcats, nothing. Through half number one, CSU dominates the statistical side of things. 13-1 in shots, 5-0 in corner kicks. But in the category that mattered, it stays 0-0. And CSU now with some adjustments to make offensively here in the second 45.
I'm sure they're going to make some adjustments, but a statistic that Georgia College used 13 players and CSU used 18 players. So I think that second half that may work in the CSU's favor.
CSU in their all-white home uniforms, the navy numerals and lettering out there working right to left as you're going to look at it in this second half. Corsione, Pearson, and Pelletier up top for the Lady Cougars. Jackway getting the start in the midfield, as does Cassandra Wade and Taylor Marks. And the back line stays the same. Larice, Davis, Rolling, and Calder, with Malin Parsons still in net. Ashley Ballou will get the start here in the second half for Georgia College. She's standing right there over the ball with Casey Hamilton as our referee whistles us into play for the final 45 minutes of regulation here on this Wednesday evening. CSU getting off 13 shots. It took them a while, though, for the offense to get going, the way Georgia College was bunkering down in that back line, dropping as many as 9 players back, leaving just one forward up top to attack. But CSU, as the 45 minutes went along, crept closer and closer and closer to the net, had a couple of balls hit off the crossbar, and it seemed like had they kept going, they were about to break through.
Exactly. They needed 5 more minutes in that half to score the goal. I'm pretty confident they would have scored a goal.
Back to the starting bunch, especially up top for them, where it makes a difference. Pelletier called for the foul there as going down was Emily Wilhelm. Pelletier trying to fight her off. There's not many players that Kelsey's going to knock to the ground at her stature, but able to take Wilhelm down there inside the box.
It's more not intended foul. It's their feet tangled there. It's Nakia's foul. Nakia's challenge.
This is Pearson. 4 goals for her in the last 3 games. She's scored in each of the last 3.
A little burst of speed.
Working there against Schwartz, who was on the ball for so much of that first half defensively inside the attacking third for Georgia College. CSU had a lot of these deep throw-ins, nothing coming of them though. Corsione got a head on it, hit it the wrong direction. Still alive, kept there. This is Wade in the box. Touches it to herself. Player laying on the ground. Helps getting in the way.
There you go. That was nice passing there.
Pearson with the cross. Touched by Pelletier, deflected away, and a corner kick coming up. But again, the chances get better and better and closer for them.
Closer to the goal. That was good sequence of play, good penetration, and nice cross there. It's one of these will eventually go in.
Annie Stevens in goal again, the senior for the Bobcats. She made just 2 saves in that first half as the majority of CSU's shots did not find the net.
She wasn't terribly busy, although it's total domination by CSU, but she wasn't really tested.
It was more the back line that was tested more than the goalkeeper for the Bobcats.
So far, perfect job by backline of Georgia College.
Corsione took it off the foot of Cassandra Wade. The clearance doesn't find midfield. Wade with a good touch to herself, working in the midfield, swings it out wide. Pelletier working on Schwartz now. But Kelsey with such quick feet, especially on the ball, makes a good move, the cross. They'll play it back. Calder hits one towards the net, and that's just high of the crossbar and over, but another good look at it from CSU from about 18 to 20 yards.
Already, Stephen, you see that that Coach Jay made the adjustments, so they are more patient. They're playing back. They're looking for perfect opportunity.
Ball really hasn't come across midfield so far in the first 3.5 minutes of this half, as Pearson now on the left side tries to step it away from a defender. Larice up from the back line to play two-person soccer with her. Headed around, Corsione Trying to find Pelletier with it, who takes off the second ball, defended by Autry this time. Kelsey very active to start this second half. And again, Georgia College, while they're doing well in the back line, there's no clearing happening right now.
You know, that fact, it's comforting to know they're not crossing half line, but you know, it's also warning.
And this ball will cross the midfield line, but because of CSU's doing, as they play it around the center backs, Davis and Rolling. For Georgia College, offensive opportunities have been limited. 7 goals in 8 games, and they now have not scored in 3.5 matches. They have not scored in the previous 3 matches coming into this one, and did not score in the first half, so you wonder at some point, do they start to settle in and wonder about when they can get back in the offensive end?
I don't think at the moment they care about that much. That's the least concern to them about how they're going to score the goal. There you go.
Pearson hits one high up into the center. Stevens goes to grab it before Corsione could get ahead on it.
That was pretty decent cross there. CSU need to be more aggressive attacking that ball. That ball was there to take it. Challenging keeper on that. She cannot have clear shot like that on the ball.
You get the feeling if you could just get one, others would follow, but it's so difficult to get number one.
You got to hand it to Coach Clark. You know, she really made good tactics for this game. They're really organized, they're disciplined, they know exactly everything about CSU players, who's who.
This one played through, trying to get to Valou, but Casey Davis, one-on-one, able to win it away. The clearance winds up over at the Georgia College bench. Moore will try to swing it in quickly before CSU can get the defense set. But Casey Davis stops that, and CSU has a counter now without a ton of numbers here for Georgia College. Pelletier, a touch that was a little too difficult or too tough that time. Autry defending, and Pelletier lost it out.
Sometimes it's not good to dominate like this. Sometimes you want to have a little bit room behind. And that takes a little bit passing here. Even ball is on CSU half. Georgia College State, everybody's around their 18.
Good pass there from Pearson to Larice. Larice looking for the cross, trying to find Wade. Pelletier the first one to it. Again, a lot of quick, crisp passing at the moment for the Lady Cougars. This is Pearson. Schwartz again, the defender, and Schwartz touched it out. Schwartz has been a little tough customer back there in that back line.
She is. She's very hard to beat. You need to have some moves to beat her. She's very quick and very aggressive there. That's a really good battle between her and Chelsea.
Schwartz, a sophomore out of Roswell, Georgia. And she was the first one to that throw, got a head on it.
That's a chance there.
The offside flag put up, though. Courtney Jackway didn't get back onside quick enough there. A ball that was played well to her, but she was behind the back line.
She ran in there. For me, it was pretty close play from looking from this angle. She ran in perfectly in that position, and ball was just a little bit late getting to her. She made a really good run there.
0-0 here in Columbus, Georgia. Stephen Williams, Tony Frankovich here with you on Cougar Sports TV. It's turned into a very pleasant Wednesday evening in Columbus. Had some rain each of the last couple of days, but today the temperature's up in the 80s, sun out all day, and the sun is set. Nice little breeze blowing in tonight. And great temperatures, good soccer weather as we kind of settle towards the fall around here.
Exactly. Players are very happy to play in this kind of environment.
CSU, after spending practically the entire month of September away from home, back in the friendly confines here on the opening day of October.
That news really tightening on Georgia College. CSU, you expecting every moment that's goal's gonna happen. You know, and may as well will.
This is Pearson looking for the cross.
Wow.
Good touch that time by Jackway. Actually, it was touched rather by another player. Defender got a foot on it that time, so dangerously close to an own goal there. You talked about that cross right there inside that 6-yard box. Defenders not wanting to touch it. For that result right there, nearly had one go off your own player in.
That's correct, almost on goal.
Throw it towards the net, good things happen. Isn't that how the saying goes?
Exactly.
Taylor Marks takes the cross. A good one that's right there in front of the net. Punched high in the air. Still alive, though, inside the 18.
Somebody really want it. There you go.
Rolling got a head on it. Deflected away. Marks hits it, and
Wow.
it goes a little bit wide to the right. So CSU, countless opportunities now, but still goose eggs on the board.
Coach Jay shaking his head, you know, I mean, this is really, really frustrating for coaches when you have this kind of opportunities. You want to put that in to put your mind at ease.
Nearly 10 minutes gone already in this second half. Both sides searching for their opening goal. Georgia College still with just one shot on the night. CSU has 16 of them, but they forced just 2 saves.
Georgia College seems to me perfectly happy with that stat, you know.
That ball played way too hard that time by Davis, and now Jay Entlick will get up off his seat. One of the rare times you'll see him get up and walk around, and he'll give some instruction there to his senior center back.
I don't think Georgia College is in a hurry to get that second shot.
This is Pearson. Working on Schwartz again. Chelsea
There
with
you
a
go.
strong
There you
shot,
go.
and Chelsea scores for the 4th consecutive game.
Golasso, what a peach of a goal. She hit that far post, low shot, what we coaches always saying, you know, keep it low, keep it far post, perfect move, quick finish, not much complication in that. That's a goal scorer right there for you, Steven, that I'm talking about. That was intention to score. She went for it, and she got it.
2 weeks ago, Chelsea Pearson was the Peach Belt Conference Player of the Week after a pair of goals, including the game winner at Armstrong. Last week, she scored a goal in each of the 2 games CSU played in. She's added one in the first game of this week here to make it a 1-0 contest.
She's on, no doubt.
And now they'll try for more.
She, as a true captain, she taking the lead right now, and she took it in her hands, and she scored the goal. But somebody mentioned first half that she might score the goal this game.
Was that you? It wasn't
I
me.
don't know.
It must have been the other
Must
guy.
be somebody else whispering in my ear.
CSU getting another corner kick opportunity here. This will be their 8th of this match so far.
Coach Jay is going to keep playing. You know, they're going to keep playing same way, try to get second goal, and they got it.
And there's another one coming off the corner kick. Taylor Marks sends it into the middle, and CSU very, very quickly makes it 2-0.
I'm very, very happy. Courtney Jacque scored a goal, telling you she used to play for me here in Columbus. She's from Florida, but I'm very, very happy she scored the goal. She's a wonderful girl, and welcome back, Courtney.
Courtney Jacque able to get on the board there for CSU. Marks with the corner kick, Jacque with the header. And we said once you get one, more will follow, and it didn't take long for the second to follow.
CSU going for jugular, no mistake about that. No 2 ways about it.
CSU nearly getting a third there. Cassandra Wade got a foot on that one, and that would have been 3 goals about as quick as you can get 3 right there.
You know, now they play more carefree. Now they relax. They can do more stuff. They know they have comfortable lead. And Georgia College, I don't think, Steven, they have 2 goals in them.
They're going to have to definitely change up their attacking style if they're going to.
Quite honestly, I don't think they can. I think this is all CSU. CSU just putting that extra pressure on them.
Becca Calder now with a lot of room to work. Trying to play it out to the right. Will finally do so. Can Chelsea get to it? She does. The cross, it's there. It gets through to Pelletier. Pelletier working against a couple of defenders. Had it fended off, and I can hear your groan because she dribbled with it rather than taking the shot.
You can see Coach Jay, same thing, frustration. He waving his head. That shot should have been taken right away. Control shoot.
We haven't worked together long, but I can already tell your frustration with that one. Reese, the centering pass. Jackway got a head on it for a moment. Loose in the box. Pearson finding her way to it. And they're going to hit Chelsea with the foul.
In Europe, we have a game called Victoria that's playing on one goal, you know, like half-court basketball. I think that's what we witness in soccer version of half-court. But I think Georgia College would like to attack, but I think CSU is now on. I mean, they just don't let them develop anything right now. It's a total, complete domination at the moment.
This is Corsione, the reigning Peach Belt Conference Freshman of the Year.
You notice that's coaching adjustment. Coach Jay, they are very, very patient around the box. There's no more those shots, you know, and hopeful shots that they think they're going to score. They're patient. I think bringing right now Kiana Nicholson and Tori, especially Kiana, is going to enhance that.
Chelsea Pearson will come out. Kelsey Pelletier will come out as well. Tori Hood and Kiana Nicholson, as you mentioned, the two that are subbing on here. So CSU with 2 goals in the first 12 minutes and change of this second half, able to break through, and the 5th-ranked team in the country starting to look like the 5th-ranked team in the country.
Every bit of it.
Now they'll try to tack on more. Nicholson looking for the cross. It's deflected around, and Stevens on a slide will snatch it up from in front that time of Maddie Steven.
Chelsea Pearson is gassed. I think that's a tactics of Coach Jay that these forwards will work extremely hard, work that defense, because that defense didn't have no sub.
Here goes Corsione again, off to Larice on the near side of the field. Back to Nicole. Corsione looking for the crossing opportunity. Taken away by Stevens. Tori Hood, the one making the run.
Corsione is El Tank. You know, she goes, remind me of the ex-CSU player Jackie Ellis. Once when she goes, she just plow everything in front of her.
Nicole with great straight line speed, and they're trying to teach her the finer things, the finesse things that come with that.
I'm perfectly fine with that the way she plays.
Nicole last year a double-digit scorer in her freshman campaign, a little bit slower in the scoring column this season for her so far. Just 1 goal through the first 7+ matches, but she's been picked up by a lot of her teammates. We talked about 10 different Lady Cougars had scored, make it 11 as that goal for Courtney Jackway was her first of the year. So 11 different Lady Cougars have scored their 21 goals.
As a coach, you couldn't be happier than that to have that kind of statistic. Everybody is spreading the wealth, and it's hard for the other coaches to adjust. They don't have really go-to guy, you know, like go-to girl that they're gonna mark. Like West Florida had that Icelandic girl, number 7, that CSU effectively shut down.
CSU sending a couple of subs in. Steph Kolwitz back on the field. Mandy Janowitz back out there as well. Mandy, one of those who hasn't put one into the net just yet this season after she was the 3rd leading scorer for this team last year in her freshman season. So another one that's had a little bit of a slower start despite the fact that she's played good minutes at times.
And she had good opportunities, you know. She played hard, you know. She needs to break that slump. Once the goal scorer scores the goal, you know, everything is easy.
It's like the team effect. You
Exactly.
get one, kind of gets that proverbial monkey off the back, and everything else falls into play.
This is, I think, this perfect night for her to get one and get her on a scoring track.
You look, though, there's just so many opportunities across the field. Shelby Rowling, another one who has scored multiple goals during her career so far, despite the fact that she plays center back. She hasn't scored yet this year. She's been such a weapon on free kicks in the past for CSU. She has not gotten to the scoring column just yet. So there's plenty of options out there of people to still get in the scoring column that haven't done so.
You know, Stephanie Kolwitz, one of the best set players in the state, at her when she played for Concord Fire and for me, for Red Star.
This was Franco leaving it forward. Valou, one of the top players for this Bobcat team, drops it back. Steven hits it into the middle, headed toward the net, deflected around, and Allie Berries was the one who got the last touch at it before Malin Parsons scooped it up.
Hello, Ball. My name is Marilyn.
She has not had it much.
See how excited she was to grab that thing over there and carry it and punt it. Marilyn is right now looking like she's about ready to attack. She got her hands on her hip.
That one deflected last off of Berries, and Nicholson very heavily that time picked it up and tried to rush it forward, realizing that they had numbers. There's certain things you can't teach. One of those is those instincts there to see, hey, we've got numbers, rush it on down the field, don't waste any time.
You know, a lot of time, a lot of team waiting for like a right fullback, left fullback. That's usually people who are in charge of taking throwings, you know. And I like that quick one.
Same thing on free kicks, too. When you've got a design player for it, sometimes it's best if you just go get it and go.
Exactly. There's a lot of situations the team losing quick pass and maybe breakaway if they play it right away and they're taking, you know, time because somebody's designed. You know, there's something that you cannot coach. Some players have instinct. But if you are wrong, if you make mistake, then you're going to hear it.
But it's those situations where in a match like this for Columbus State, you want to be quick with it because the quicker you are, the less time there is for a team like Georgia College to go get all those 10 players back and get set up in that bunker-style defense that they're playing at the moment.
No doubt, you know, and you want to have that ball moving in a play as quick as the speed of play got to be faster for CSU. They want to play faster.
Franco able to win the ball away from Larice. Draw the throw coming up. 25 and a half minutes to go here on Cougar Sports TV. 2-0 CSU in front of Georgia College here in conference action as the Lady Cougars try to get to 3-0 in conference play. A 3-0 start would level them up with Clayton State, who's also off to a similar 3-0 start in conference play.
Let's see, Kiana in her sweet cuts. There you go.
A good ball played there, back touched off the head of Shea Wilby loose.
There you go.
And there's Mandy Janowitz right on cue, gets her first of the year to make it 3-0.
You called it.
So now we're even.
Even. Hopefully one of many this year.
So a couple of first-time goals for the season for Janowitz and Jackway tonight. And with 25 minutes still to play, CSU now has 3 goals in 20 minutes in this second half, and they are out to a 3-0 lead. We mentioned at half it looked like they were getting closer, and finally the doors opened, and here they all come through.
And you notice ball bounce our way. You know, sometimes in soccer it's almost unwritten rule. Harder you work, luckier you get. So there was bounce, but CSU made it happen. Janowitz made it happen with this. She, if anybody deserved for her beginning of season, how hard she worked, you know, she deserved that goal. Finally came for her. I'm happy for her.
Janowitz, who had 6 of them last year, has her first now here in this one, is now make it 12 Lady Cougars, scoring 22 goals on the season. We've talked about it on prior broadcasts before. Jay Antlich's problem in the past, he said, was he didn't have players 15, 16, and 17 to compete. He has 12 that have scored goals this season, and that doesn't count a lot of his defenders who don't come up and attack.
Yeah.
I'd say he's found 15, 16, 17, maybe 18, 19, and 20.
He played 18, you know, today.
And he's added another because Shea Wilby didn't play in the first half.
Yeah.
She's played here in this one.
So 19 players played today. So how deep you need to be.
He's only got 26, and 3 of those others are goalkeepers standing over there, so he can't sub too many of them. So there's not many players over there in white that haven't played just yet. And he doesn't sub really in that back line until a game gets out of hand. He sticks with these 4, so that limits another couple of players from coming off the bench. So he's gone to just about everyone that makes sense for him to go to.
You know, this kind of game, you know, you may want to work some of these things. I'm sure he wants to maybe goal or 2 more that quality goals, not lucky goals, because they can work right now. They have more room to work with, and players are more confident to do things that they normally under pressure situation will not do.
Columbus State went through a stretch earlier in the season. Now, albeit the competition was much stiffer, but a stretch where they scored 2 against Texas A&M Commerce, just 1 against Rollins, and 0 in a draw at Lee. So 4 goals over 3 games. Since that time, they have now tallied 15 goals in 4 matches for them. 3 of those victories, and it looks like a 4th victory is just 22 minutes away.
This goose is cooked, no doubt. This is just a matter of how many.
CSU
what score going to be.
getting player number 20 into the action now. Jessica Sauer into the back line, playing in the center back spot in place of Casey Davis. A good chance to get Casey off of the field after she'd been out injured. So maybe a little conditioning, a little bit lacking at this point. Also, no reason to aggravate anything. Up 3-0 in the second half.
They missed her dearly. I remember Coach Radi Tanaskovic telling me, we missed her a great deal, but they actually, with that depth, they covered that very nicely for her.
If there's one spot where they don't have a ton of players, it's in that back line. There's only Jessica Sauer and Summer Culberson, the freshman from Augusta, who really slot into that back line outside of the 4 that started. So that's a place where they don't want to lose players to injury. Not that they ever want to lose anyone anywhere, but that's a tough spot. There's a ball headed down. Kolwitz looked like got a first touch on it. Somebody else did too before Stevens scooped it up.
Stephanie should have scored on that one. She was in right spot, a little bit more convincing header. I think she was surprised that ball came to her so easily. But you notice this, Steven, that game is faster, CSU players playing faster. Sometimes you need to speed up the game to speed of thought, speed of execution happen in the same time. You feel a lot better, If you Ferrari, you want to be Ferrari. You want to drive fast. You don't want to drive 30 miles an hour. So that's what CSU is.
This was Schwartz up from the back line trying to attack. Becca Calder stopped that, though, as Shelby Rolling was able to clear. Then this is a spot, though, where Jay Entlick has probably been driven nuts this season, was they get out like this, and then they give up a late goal, and that kind of gets up inside of him a little bit and frustrates him. It happened on Saturday at USC Aiken. They led 3-0, and then with 7 minutes to go, gave up a cheap one.
That's usually what frustrates me as a coach as well, when you give that cheap one, because you're always thinking that cheap goal may happen in a game that is a tied game, and you don't want to give up. And that's basically what he's thinking, why he hates that goal was given.
Taylor Marks coming off. Jackie Hellett subbing on for CSU. This is Nicholson, who's been close on numerous occasions. Plays this one. Tried to go for the net. Instead, it curved out wide, and Larice able to track it down in the corner.
You got to have 90-minute concentration, Stephen. Every coach want players to play full 90, full concentration.
You have to play full 90 to win the big ones. You may not have to play full 90 to win tonight or to win in other games, but tonight you do. This one nearly another opportunity for CSU. Tori Hood and Janowitz both there on the mark that time, but touched it just over the crossbar.
That was good. Another good opportunity for CSU.
Tori Hood, another one that's been very good so far this season for Jay Entlick. I heard the talk coming out of preseason camp said that she was playing her way into a starting role. There just wasn't a starting spot to give her because of how good the other forwards were, but she showed it so far. 3 goals in the first 7 matches so far for someone that they were hoping that everything would come together for this year in her junior season.
In all honesty, he can start any of those forwards.
Dalton played it to the center. Kolwitz was the only one there to receive, and now CSU with even numbers goes back, actually with better numbers, goes back the other way.
You got to switch on the other side. She didn't see that run over there.
And Hellett played it poorly to the corner and out over the side. That was one of the rare opportunities where if they kept attacking, they had 5-on-4.
Yeah, Wilby was wide open on that right side. If they can just lift their head and see whole field, that would be absolutely brilliant play if she switched that ball to Wilby.
Janowitz does switch the field there for Tori Hood. The touch, though, took the ball to the net.
It's amazing that I cannot get over that CSU is number 5, considering that they competing against fully funded schools that are 9.9 scholarship. It just testament to Coach Jay and his staff recruiting and coaching. So it is very difficult to recruit players when you don't have money to give it to him, and especially good players. And I'm just this is perfect 10 for me, in terms of coaching and recruiting.
Georgia College trying to break a very, very long scoreless drought for this program now. They're trying to avoid being shut out for the fourth consecutive match. Look at Rolling, chase down Dalton there, and Shelby, one of the best defenders in this part of the country, able to get that one out over the end line for a goal kick as a couple more subs will come in. Ashley Miller, Shauna Griffin in, Kiana Nicholson, Tori Hood out.
That was a wonderful play by Rolling. She came, closed her down very quick. Dalton has really nice shifty moves over there, but Dalton was, you need to have something more to beat her.
Again, another rare chance for Malin Parsons back there. She still has not made a save because Georgia College has only taken one shot. It was blocked by a defender, and that's all that the Bobcats have gotten to this point.
I don't think CSU will give a goal in this game. That defense is sharp on their toes, and they're cleaning up everything before Maryland gets to it. That's commentators' curse.
So we're blaming you.
As soon as I said that, they made a mistake.
This is Schwartz. She's been so quick defensively now on the attack. Got through Rolling for a moment. Cleared out, though, by Sauer. The opportunity that time, and the offside flag put up as Schwartz never quite recovered and got too far tucked back there near the net and called for offsides.
That little Schwartz is a nice little player there.
Very quick.
She's quick. There was good moves there offensively. I think Coach Hope moved her now in attacking position because of obviously she wants to get the goal. A strong challenge there. Nice recovery by Stephanie there.
Couple of good headers from CSU keep it alive as Shea Wilby works near midfield. 3 goals for the Lady Cougars so far. Chelsea Pearson started the scoring here in this half with her 5th goal in the last 4 games as she scored in 4 consecutive games for CSU. Courtney Jackway scored her first just a couple of seconds later, and Mandy Janowitz tallied her first a few minutes past that.
Coach Antley keeping his forwards fresh. He brought two more, so. That's a great play by Jessica Sauer. She really recovered well there.
CSU is in a stretch right now, as we talked about with the schedule that follows. Young Harris and Georgia Southwestern before a road date at Valdosta State, where Jay Inlet can get some of these other players an opportunity to get in, and one of those coming on right now, Summer Culberson, the 4th member of the incoming class that CSU had this year. 2 freshmen, a sophomore and a junior that joined the team for the first time this season, and Culberson, who is a defender by trade, sliding into the midfield for the moment now for CSU, seeing action in her 5th match of the year. But valuable minutes regardless of when they come, because you never know, especially in that back line with such a low number of players back there, when she may be called into action in an important match.
I know a lot of these players. I saw a little bit frowny face on the COVIDs, and a lot of these players don't like to come out. They want to play more, but I think Jay thinking a little bit ahead of a time, giving these comfortable leads, so giving other players more playing time.
You give other players more playing time, but maybe more importantly, you take injury out of play for some of these others, because the last thing you need is an injury that comes in the final 13 minutes of a 3-0 game. You hate for an injury to happen anywhere, but you feel foolish almost if you have one happen to a great player that happens right now. Good ball that time by Hellett, a little too strong though, up and over the right side of the crossbar. Shot number 22.
That's terrifying for all college coaches, that these injuries, that if player is out for 6 weeks, that's the end of season. It's a so short season that you don't have time to get that player back, as if in professional when soccer is 10 months long season. But you know what? NCAA talking about having soccer in the spring.
I was going to ask you about that. They mentioned spreading it out.
Because that's more in a line with world soccer that you got to play 10 months. You got to have 2 seasons.
Larice with a good cross. Finds the feet of Hellett, trying to control it. She'll get the shot off. It's blocked. Stays alive there inside the goal line. Culberson trying to get into the mix. Off the pass from Larice, but it's tossed out over the side.
I think defender knew. I think that's Baldacini, that ball hitter. She knew much about that ball hitter in the head. She was stunned for a second. You always worry about these hits in the head, you know, and we used to never paid attention about concussions and everything. Now it's when science is so progress on this thing, we really, as a coaches, we really scared about it.
Now that you really know what's happening.
Yes. I mean, I know I was victim on quite a few, and I continue playing, and thank God for Advil these days. I'm still having those headaches.
Miller getting tangled up in a trio of Bobcat defenders. 11 and a half minutes remaining in this one as CSU is on its way to staying unbeaten. 8 matches into the season. They lead it 3-0. 3 second-half goals for them as they finally broke through, got on the board, and they're on their way to their 7th victory to go along with 1 draw and 0 losses.
We got another sub here.
Lindsay Law
finally getting in too, so.
And one of the rare times you'll ever watch Shelby Rowling come off the field.
I guess Coach Jay is confident that the defense can do their job. Usually, you know, it's almost unwritten rule. You never sub your back forward. You know those players you never sub along with keeper. You know, if they unless you really have to.
This is Jackie Hellett. Switches sides of the field, and Wilby's touch goes the wrong direction, but you never know when you're going to need them, like this last Saturday. Casey Davis wasn't cleared to play because of an injury. Jessica Sauer didn't make the trip with them to USC Aiken, so therefore you had to have Summer Culberson play some in the back line. Lindsay Long had to play some, and so these minutes right here prep them for when they do get in that spot.
Exactly. As a coach, you know, you're really glad that you can do this, that you can put these, they have comfortable lead, give him playing time, you know. If this was still 0-0, that all these starters probably would be in. Maybe he would be changing forwards, I mean midfielder, but everybody in the back would be still in.
CSU next at home a week from tonight. Georgia Southwestern will be in town. And that's one of those as Malin Parsons has to make her first actual play on a ball that's put towards the net on the night as she tries to ignite a counterattack here with Ashley Miller. Georgia Southwestern coming in here on Wednesday, a week from today, for a 6 o'clock start time. So same time and same place a week from now. And that's one of those where if past history for Georgia Southwestern this season proves anything, there will be a lot of goals happening potentially for CSU. It has been a rough go of things for the ladies from Americas Georgia. They had a matchup with Tampa that saw them lose 14-0, in which Tampa, how about this number, got off 67 shots.
Wow.
That's nearly, you're talking 1 every minute and 20 seconds or so. They got off 67 shots, scored 14 goals, and Georgia Southwestern has given up numerous goals on a lot of occasions this year, as they still have not won a match this season. So that's one of those next Wednesday where CSU has the potential to continue to light the scoreboard up a little bit.
Coach Sam Snow having really one of the toughest jobs in college soccer in Americas Georgia, trying to recruit no scholarships and to recruit and have people come there and play. You know, it's very tough job.
CSU on its way, though, to a 7-0-1 mark now as they will move to 9 points in Peach Belt Conference action. 3 victories for them in 3 matches, 3 points per match. So they will have 9, moving them to where Clayton State entered the night. Lakers 3-0 as well. Lander perfect in conference play. North Georgia perfect in conference play. CSU will see all of those in succession starting on October 18th. The good news is they'll get 2 of those 3 right here. Clayton State and Lander both happening here. This is Griffin. Griffin puts it to the right, beats the goalkeeper, and put another Lady Cougar on the board for the first time.
That was super goal, well taken. She received the ball, touched it forward for herself, and calm and composed under the keeper, low shot. Well executed, Griffin. Well executed.
So Shauna Griffin now has her first in a Lady Cougar uniform. So continue to tally another one up. That's 13 Lady Cougars that have scored this year. 3 of them scoring for the first time tonight.
This was peach of a goal. I really liked the way she finished it, and it was really intellectual goal.
They had really high hopes for her when they signed her.
I see why.
I believe it was at a Coffeyville Community College, but she's originally hailing from Dublin, Ireland. She was one of the top scorers at the JUCO level a year ago, the team's leading scorer there over in Kansas. And she tallies her first now as a Lady Cougar. Claire Belay in for the first time as Jay Endlick continues to empty the bench. Although you say he's emptying the bench, but Claire Belay is one who has started on numerous occasions this year, and she's the, 22nd, 23rd player to come in tonight? I believe we've seen everyone but the 3 backup goalkeepers at this point.
I don't think we're going to see him in this game. I think they don't want to mess with that starting position unless, it's a halftime. This is halftime score. I think you would see that, but now I don't think she's going to get full 90. Maryland will.
6.5 minutes to go. Malin Parsons working on what would be her 4th shutout of the season. She's got 6.5 minutes to hold them off. She does have a save to her name now after that ball just a few minutes ago, the second shot for the Bobcats tonight, but just total domination in every category here so far. 24 shots for CSU, 2 for the Bobcats, make it 25 now as that shot by Ashley Miller is saved. 9 corner kicks for CSU, none for the Bobcats, and 4 goals for Columbus State, 0 for Georgia College.
This CSU pressure, you know it that I don't think that Georgia College was able to hold on for a long time. It was even end of first half. We were talking about, if it was 5 more minutes added to that half, goal would happen, maybe 2.
And you saw the thinking process kind of clicking. It took them a while to figure out what they were going to have to do in order to get a goal, but once they figured it out, they executed well, and they've put 4 on the board in this second half. Now 16 goals for them in their last 4 matches, so that goals per game number starting to skyrocket a little bit here for the Lady Cougars.
Yeah, they were sweating and being nervous a little bit on coaching, and now they are nice and relaxed there. They're relaxing. They're enjoying really now this game.
But that's coaching staff, the way they handle it. The minute that horn blows, on to Saturday. Saturday, they'll head to Young Harris, Georgia. They'll make the trip up north. Young Harris, 2-5-0 coming into tonight, 1-3 in Peach Belt Conference action. Now, that was a team that gave CSU a little bit of trouble last year on this field. The Lady Cougars won it and were the better team most of the day, but Young Harris did have a couple of players, especially up top, that really gave CSU some trouble with speed elements. Were able to beat them down the field and get some goals on them.
They have wonderful men's team over there. They're number 9 in the country. I think
they've been number 1 at times.
They're playing absolutely wonderful soccer there. So sometimes having good men's program, just like if you have a great football school, Auburn or Georgia, female soccer players maybe want to play because they were fans of that, and they. In soccer, if they see, Young Harris have a good men's team, hey, they may be girls out
get
there
a reputation
exactly,
that they have a good program, whether they have one or not. You want to go play where the best play.
That's what that reputation can do for you, can recruit you players.
Ashley Miller with a strong look at the net that time, but hit it a little high. Hit it well, just too high over the crossbar. But that was what you liked right there. She didn't waste much time, one touch to herself, and boom.
Single-minded, you know, in situation like these. When you have chance to take shot, score the goal, you know, go for it. You know, no two-way, no two caught between two minds. Whether I'm going to pass, whether I'm going to shoot, and you do neither.
Down to 3 minutes left on the clock here at the Walden Soccer Complex. Columbus State set to be 7-0-1 on the season as they close in on what they did in 2010 when they started 9-0-1. A good chance to do that this year. It's so tough regardless of opponents. You go unbeaten in 8 matches, you've done something. Of course, though, as they'll tell you, it means nothing because they don't give out awards for how you do in the regular season.
Exactly. There you go. That's a good chance there.
Here's Janowitz now on a breakaway, one-on-one. The defender there with
Golazo.
her, and look at her going to the right. She has her second of the night. How about that, with a defender riding her back and then hit it with the outside of her foot to the short side right there.
Goal scorer's goal. I've seen it yesterday in Manchester's Champions League game, Manchester City versus Roma. Totti, great player for Roma, scored exactly same goal against Man City, tying goal.
She made that look easy on a very difficult play. Well, we mentioned
this is very, very difficult to score. You know, you got to have that composure, and you tap it around the keeper like she did. You know, this is perfectly done, professionally
and
done.
Even had the bend into the post there too, not just a straight-on shot. Finessed it into the net that time.
That's also when we talk about intellectual goal. That soccer intellectual goal.
Now Griffin on the move. You know, she'd love to get in the action one more time. We talked about Janowitz, though, the third leading scorer for this team last year. Had not scored in 7 matches, and tonight she's trying to make up for it. She gets 2 in this second half.
You and I made a call about that second goal. One of many to come.
Wilby flicks this one towards the net, and Andy Larice nearly ran it down as she would try to tally one more. CSU now under 90 seconds away from victory number 7 and another shutout to add to their ledger.
You know, Stephen, in my days when I played, usually back home, when you score 5 goals, you kind of hold on scoring goals. It's kind of gentleman deal, you know. That's you stop scoring, you know, sometimes. Here, you know, like I Tampa scoring 14 on Georgia Southwest, and I know what that does, you know, in terms of being sportsman. Although I'm a big Spartan fan too. In my family, I mean, coaches are my friends and everything. Head coach for men's program, Adrian Bush, used to play for me down on national championship team.
Down to 35 seconds and ticking away as the Lady Cougars are going to be victorious on this Wednesday evening here back home. It's been a welcomed return to the Walden Soccer Complex for the Lady Cougars. 26 days without playing a match here. They come back home and they light the scoreboard up in a way that they hadn't done here at home in a while. 5-0 the score now as they try to finish this one off. Georgia College, though, with a late opportunity here. It's going to be stopped. Lindsey Wall with good scrambling. The clock ticks down 2-1, and that horn will signify a 7th Lady Cougar victory, a 4th shutout, and a 5-0 win.
My heart stopped on that situation. I called it. They're not going to score the goal, and I'm sure, like you said, Coach Jay would be very mad if that happened there. 5-0 game, second half. Well-deserved victory for CSU. Second half, we saw what they are made out of. They changed their style, they changed their tactic, they were patient, they passed around, they were high-quality goals. It wasn't no lucky bombs from this, it was high quality. Everything about this team is high quality. Chemistry of these players, they really like each other, they like to play together, and they are successful, and they will be successful.
It was 0-0 at half. You wouldn't know it, though, by looking at the final score. Chelsea Pearson started the scoring. Courtney Jackway, Mandy Janowitz, Shauna Griffin, and then Mandy Janowitz a second time. Stretched it out 5-0. Columbus State takes this one. They get to 7-0-1 on the season for Georgia College. They fall to 2-6-1 as the Lady Cougars stay perfect and now set their sights on Saturday.
Congratulations to both teams. There was really good game, tight game. Georgia College came here. They played really tight first half. You know, a little bit unlucky second half, a couple bounces, but I think CSU showed quality what they possess, and second half was evident. You know that is the reason they are number 5 team in the country. Hopefully, you know they may move this weekend if they succeed. On Tuesday they are another ranking, so it could be that they can move up. Usually, you know, top 4 teams normally don't lose, but you know this is very impressive victory. But so I may expect them to move up from top 5 to move maybe top 4.
The Lady Cougars play at Young Harris on Saturday. You'll see them again here on Cougar Sports TV a week from today, next Wednesday, October 8th, Georgia Southwestern coming to town for 6 o'clock. We're back on the air, though, less than 48 hours from now. Friday night, we'll be inside the Lumpkin Center. Lady Cougar volleyball team goes for a conference victory against USC Aiken. We'll see them starting at 7 o'clock, and then on Saturday, Lander in town as well for a 2 o'clock showdown with the Lady Cougars. So, partner, as always, had a good time. We'll look forward and do it again.
Yes, a good night to everybody. Have a nice and peaceful night and blessed night as well.
For everybody here at Cougar Sports TV, Columbus State Athletics, for my partner, Tony Frankovich, this is Stephen Williams saying so long from Columbus, Georgia.